Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parjana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishakam Vidamsya Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, Hari Om Tat Sat. So welcome all the devotees for today's Mukundmala class. So we are reading Shloka number 15. He loka shrunuta prasuti marana vyadheschikishami mam yogatnya samudaharanti munayo yam yajna valkyadaya antarjyotirameyamekam krishnakhyamapi yatam tatpidam paramaushadam vitanute nirvanam atyantikam. Krishna, Tarini Mataji. Tarini Mataji, you are on mute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Able to hear Prabhuji?
Yeah, you cannot see?
Yes, Prabhuji, I am able to see Prabhuji.
Yeah. Hello, Kashrunata Prasuti Marana.
Hello. Prabhuji, can I recite after you, Prabhuji?
Okay, no problem. Then Sachi Mataji, please recite.
Krishna Prabhu. He loka shrunata prasuti marana vyade chidikshami mam yohaknya samutaharanti munayo yam yagnavalkyadayah antarjyotirameyamekam Krishnakhyamapiyataam tatpidam paramaushadam vitanute nirvanamatyantikam.
Very good. Okay. Let's see the translation. O people, please hear of this treatment for the disease of birth and death. It is the name of Krishna, recommended by Yajnavalkya and other expert yogis, steeped in wisdom. This boundless, eternal inner light is the best medicine, for when drunk, it bestows complete and final liberation. Just drink it. Pipada Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Vyasadeva is also telling the same thing. Pipada, drink it. Just drink it. It's so nectarian, so relishing, because it is about the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and its pure devotees. So those who are expert yogis, steeped in wisdom, understand the boundless eternal inner light of the best medicine. So what is the best medicine for crossing over the ocean of nations, crossing over the cycle of birth and death? What is the best medicine?
Chanting.
What
Chanting,
is the best?
Prabhuji.
Yes, the holy name of the Supreme Lord. Okay, Nama Kirtanam, Nama Sankirtanam. Nama Sankirtanam isya sarva papa pranashanam pranamo dukkha shamanas nam namami harim. This Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam kalau nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gadir. That is the best medicine, the Aushadi. Okay, this Pattamuli we say in Malayalam, Pattamuli. This is only one medicine. Okay. Drink this, so nectarian, so delicious, so relishing, and you will be relieved from the cycle of vicious cycle of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. Otherwise, we have to undergo Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. So the best medicine to get out of this cycle of birth and death is chant the holy name of the Lord. So that is what the expert yogis also, expert yogis like Yajnavalkya and others recommend. So devotees are always pleased to hear bona fide verses proclaiming the glories of the Lord's holy name. We like to be reminded and encouraged to always chant and hear the holy names with great attention, devotion. That's what Prahlad Maharaj also says. Okay, what Prahlad says, Prahlad, Kaumaram Acharet Pratnyo Dharman Bhagavadaniha Durlabham Manusham Janma Tadapi Adhruvam Artadam. Prahlad says, Kaumaram Acharet Pratnyo. From the age of Kaumara, we should start. So what is the Kaumara age? What is the period?
5 years.
Yeah, up to 5 years. Kaumara is up to 5 years. Then comes Pauganda up to 10. Then Kaishara up to 15. Then youth. So we should start devotional activities from the very tender age of around 5 at least. Actually, it would be better if we can listen to the Bhagavatam when we are in the mother's womb. That is how Prahlada became a pure devotee. Okay? So if given a chance, if you get a chance, anybody who got a chance, at least the mothers who are reciting Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Ramayanam, such holy scriptures, the children are very, very lucky. Okay? They will become very pious souls, good devotees. So even if we don't get a chance, at least just before completing Kaumaram, we should start the devotional activities. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the different 9 types of devotional services one can start practicing from the tender age of Kaumara. Okay. So as a pure devotee of Lord Krishna, King Kulashevara naturally worships the holy names of the Lord. So we know that Kalikale Nama Rupe Krishna Avadara. In the age of Kali, the Lord appears in his holy names. Lord appears in his holy names. So there is no difference between the Lord and his holy names. Nama and Nami, both are same, identical. But in the material world, is it so? Nama and Nami are same, identical. Why? Can you give some examples? Why it's different? In the spiritual platform or realm, the Nama, the Nami, okay? The name and the substance are same. Or the name and the person are same. Okay, let's take the examples of water, the name, water, the substance. Both are same, identical. If that is so, if I say water, 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 my thirst should be quenched. Will that happen? It will not happen. But when we utter the name of Supreme Lord, Narayana, Krishna, Keshava, Gopi Janavallabha, Gopinatha, Gopala, Govinda, the Lord appears there immediately. When we utter it with sincerity, just like Draupadi Mata. When she uttered with sincerity, in a helpless condition, immediately the Lord appeared in the form of sari and helped her. Gajendra offered prayers. He came running on his Garuda, right? Prahlada said, the Lord is there, my Supreme Lord, Vishnu is there everywhere. So Hiranyakashipu is asking, is he there in this pillar? Yes, it is there, he is there. He pointed out to a particular pillar because that palace was constructed under his supervision. He knew that there was no Vishnu when it was being constructed. So he was sure that Vishnu is not there inside. So he pointed out to that pillar and asked, is your Vishnu there in this pillar? He said, yes. Immediately, the Lord appeared from that pillar. Okay. Just to fulfill the promise of his pure devotee, he appeared from the pillar. So there is no difference between the name and the honor of the name. Spiritual. In the spiritual realm, there is no difference. But materially, there's a difference. When I just remember, if I remember my son who is away from home, will he appear here? He will not appear here. Isn't it? But when we remember the Lord, he can appear here, provided our calling is like that. So if we so helplessly, intensely call out the name of the Supreme Lord, he will appear that moment to help us. Okay. In any form, in any manner, there is no doubt. We are talking to our children, who are away from home through, this video call and telephone and all. But when we associate with them on telephone call or video call, do we get the same enjoyment when you associate with them personally? You don't. The photo of your son and the son, they are same in a sense, but can you get the same enjoyment when you interact with the photo of your son than associating with him physically? So there's a difference, isn't it? But when we associate with the deity in the temple or at home, the Archa Vigraha, you are dealing with that personality. He is a living person in that deity form. The photo of the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Lord are identical. So this is what, so the same way, the name and the honor of the name, the Supreme Lord, are same. That is why when Ajamila uttered his son's name Narayana, immediately Narayana sent the Vishnu Dutas. Although he did not mean the Supreme Lord Narayana, he meant his younger son Narayana. Handa kalecha mam eva smaran muktva kalaivaram yat prayatasi madbhavam yati nasyatra samsaya. Only when we quit our body, when we remember the Supreme Lord, holy name, we will be able to go back home, back to Godhead. So what state of mind we are in at the time of quitting the body, that state will attain. Yam yam mapi smaran bhavam tyajadande kalaivaram tam tam evaidi kaundeya sada tadbhava bhavida. That's what Krishna says to Arjuna. So we should try to get out of this material realm. We should try to get out of the clutches of Maya, the cycle of repeated birth and death, simply by uttering the holy name of the Lord. And the best medicine that is recommended in the age of Kali is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can come out of the material existence. We can come out of the nascence, ignorance. So that's what. So of all dreaded maladies, samsara is the worst. What is samsara means?
Repeated birth and death.
Yeah, repeated birth and death. Because it includes all other diseases. It includes all other diseases, Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, and Adidevik, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. And in the olden days, we know only a few diseases. Yes, doctor can tell how many types of diseases are there, isn't it?
Yes,
There's so many, we don't need
uncountable
diseases. In the earlier days, we have not heard of such diseases, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, it includes
there
all
are-
diseases.
Yes, Prabhuji. Still, there are
Yeah.
many things which we don't know,
Right. Still, we don't know.
and
Many diseases.
we may label it as something. A first doctor may see as something A disease, some second doctor may know B. At the end, it may change to C or D also.
Yeah, that's it. So for everything, there is only one aushadhi. Yes, doctors can definitely help us. The hospital can definitely help us, but they are not ultimate doctors. Who is ultimate doctor? The Supreme Lord is ultimate. If there is a saying in Bengali, Krishna mare rakhe ke, what is that? Rakhe mara? No.
Rake Krishna Mare ke Mare Krishna
Rakhe Krishna mare
Rake.
ke. Yeah. If Krishna wants to kill somebody, take his life, who can stop? If Krishna wants to protect someone, who can stop? We are all intermediary doers. Okay. Krishna is the ultimate doer. But unfortunately, we think that we are the doer. Because of me, he got the job. Because of me, it happened to him. I helped him. Because we take the credit. Ultimately, if the sanction of the Supreme Lord is not there, it's not going to happen. See? So actually, the ultimate doer, the ultimate sanction is the Supreme Lord. We don't accept that. We don't give that credit to the Supreme Lord, but we take the credit. I am the doer. Okay. As Lord Krishna says to Arjuna, Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. You're just being an instrument in my hands. Don't think that you are the doer. But Arjuna, I want to give you the credit. You being, my close friend and devotee. I want to give you the credit. That's what Krishna does. But we should not take that, okay, I am the ultimate doer. Everything should come to me, all the credit. No. So as long as we are bound to take birth in the material world, we must inevitably expose ourselves to cancers, heart attacks, AIDS, and so on. So this were the main diseases when this was written, this was translated. Cancers, heart attacks, AIDS, and so on. All cures within this world are temporary, because even if we are cured of one disease, we will eventually contract another, either in the present life or in the future. So even if you are cured of one disease, another disease may come. If not in this life, in the coming lives. So as with our attempts for happiness, our attempts for health must fail sooner or later. Okay. Happiness, miseries, all comes uninvited. Just like how happiness comes, miseries also will come. Okay. Our attempts for health must fail sooner or later. So today we may be, successful in treating something, but what is the guarantee that tomorrow we will not contract any other diseases? See? So in previous ages in India, a criminal would sometimes be strapped to a chair and immersed in water almost to the point of drowning. Upon being brought up, he felt great relief. This was how, in the earlier days, the kings used to punish the thieves and rogues. They will be tied to a chair, and along with the chair, they will, drown them in a river. And when they are almost suffocated and to die, then they will raise him up just to breathe for a few seconds. So much relief you will get. And the moment he gets some relief, immediately again he is pushed down into the water. Okay, again he will suffocate, he will be about to die. Again, they will be brought up. So that's what Prabhupada says here. So when he's taken up, he felt great relief, only to be plunged under again by his tortures. This was how they were tortured, punished in the earlier days. Similarly, the times when we are pain-free and happy are like the few seconds of relief the prisoner feels when he is brought up from underwater. So exactly, this is the same way that we are also feeling some happiness or pleasure when that prisoner is brought out of the water. We are also feeling the same thing. The basic principle of material life is suffering. Why? Because Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Dukhalayam Ashashwadam. He has already stamped it. This place is full of miseries. It is temporary. So how can you search happiness in a place full of miseries? It's just like, you're trying to find gold in some rubbish can. Will you find? Gold is kept under lock and key in a safe place. You cannot find in some dustbin gold. Similarly, this world is full of miseries, dukhalayam. It is temporary. But the material wealth of this world is good to be deposited in dust bin only. Sanatana Goswami, there is a story. So one person prayed to Lord Shiva. He wanted wealth, so much wealth. Okay. So Lord Shiva appeared and told him, yes, what do you want? So I want a boon. So what boon? I want so much of wealth, increasing wealth. He said, you don't think there is a Baba in Vrindavan? His name is Sanatana Goswami. Go to him. He has got the most precious jewel. Go to him. He will give you. So he went to Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan. He was meditating. He was chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He was chanting. So when he saw this Bhakta standing in front of him, yes, how can I help you? He said, I heard that you possess the most valuable gem. And if you can spare me, I'll be very happy. I said, no problem. I will give you that. Just go to that. There is a dustbin there. I put that most valuable gem in that dustbin. Go and pick it up. So I was very happy. He went there. He got that most precious jewel. That forest money. Yes, touchstone. Whatever you touch, it will become gold. With that money, you touch anything, it will become gold. Any metal become gold. So he was very happy because now he can be a billionaire, very wealthy person. Very happy. So he was jumping out of joy and he, left the place. So as he was going, he thought, if this is so precious, very costly, very valuable, how is it this Babaji has kept it in the dustbin? And without any hesitation, he parted. He gave me immediately. He said, then definitely this Babaji must be hiding something more valuable than this. So I should go and ask that. So he immediately rushed back to the Babaji. Babaji, you have given this, very precious. But definitely if we are giving this so without any hesitation, you must be having something more precious than this. Then Sanatana Goswami said, yes, I have. But are you willing to discard this? Then I will give you that. I said, yes, definitely. For a better jewel, I am ready to discard this. Then go throw this in the Ganga and Yamuna and come back to me. So immediately he went to the Yamuna and threw that in the Yamuna and came back to Sanatana Goswami. Then he initiated him with Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what do we understand? What is the value of this holy name of the Supreme Lord, Hare Krishna mantra? So in front of the holy name of the Supreme Lord, the so-called material wealth of this mundane world is filth, dirt, rubbish. So this is, but we don't understand or we don't realize the value of this Hare Krishna mantra. we'll take it so lightly. Okay, so Lord Krishna says this place is full of miseries, dukhalayam ashashvatam. So one should try to get out as soon as possible. When the house is on fire, what do? We run as quickly as possible, right? We don't sit there and try to find out what is the cause of this fire, from where it has come. Is it due to some short circuit? Somebody has, put fire. We don't sit there and investigate. We immediately run. Similarly, in this material world, we don't have time from where we are coming, where we are going to go, what is my position, all this, we don't have time. It is on fire. We have to get out of this world full of miseries as soon as possible, because our life in this age of Kali is just a fraction of a second compared to the time scale, the cosmic time scale. Okay, the time passes so fast. If we just try to recollect our younger days, how fast we have come to this age. In front of you can still visualize your day that you have went to school or college, all this, isn't it? Just like a dream. So the lifespan in the age of Kali is so short. We don't get much time. So utilize it immediately. Don't delay it. If you delay, then we have to suffer in this material world by taking again and again birth and death. That's what Kulashekar Alvar is trying to tell us. So the basic principle of material life is suffering. So therefore, we should be very eager to receive the medicine that will cure all our disease. Aushadhi. The word nirvana in this verse refers to the permanent cessation of samsara and its attendant miseries. Nirvana means going back home, back to Godhead. Okay, so it is not the nirvana of the Buddhism. That is what it is mentioned in the next line. Nirvana has become famous from the teachings of Buddhism, but the voidistic liberation the Buddhists teach in unnatural is unnatural for the living entity, and thus it is temporary. So it is not the philosophy of Buddhism that nirvana is not that nirvana. The nirvana he mentioned here is going back home, back to God, to our original house. We can find actual, factual, permanent release from pain only in the kind of liberation King Kulashekara refers to here. The liberation is getting out of the material body, getting our spiritual body. So the material body is a medium of miseries, giving us miseries again and again. So we should relinquish this material body and get to our original form, get our original body, that is Satchidananda. Satchidananda means then we will not undergo the miseries. Sat is eternity, Chit means full of knowledge, Ananda means full of bliss. So when we have a body like that, then there is no miseries. And there is no difference between the body and the soul. But here in the material world, the soul is covered by the matter, material bodies. Two bodies we have. Which are those two bodies that we have?
Gross body and the subtle body.
Yeah, gross body and subtle body. The gross body is made up of Panchabhuta. Okay. Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, Kham. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. So the gross body is made up of the Panchabhuta. And there is another body, that is subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. That is made up of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So as long as we are bound in this material world, we have to carry this. We mean the soul has to carry these two bodies. These are two layers for the soul. First, it is covered by the subtle body, then it is covered by the gross body. Okay. So when we change from this body to another body, the physical body is gone here itself. We have to leave it. It goes and merges into the respective elements. Bhumi, Rapo, Anaro, Vayu come. The subtle body comes with the soul to occupy another gross body. So again we enter in the womb of another mother. So this cycle keeps going, isn't it? So we have to put a full stop to this process. So we should get the original spiritual body, Satchidananda. So that is what the process given here, especially for those in the age of Kali. It is very easy, very simple method, very simple process. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, all our anarthas will slowly but surely will get vanquished. If you take up the process very sincerely, then in this life itself, we can get rid of the Sushma and Sthula Sharira, gross and subtle body, and attain the original spiritual body and go back home, back to Godhead. So we can find factual permanent release from pain only in the kind of liberation King Kulashekara refers to here. The liberation of a devotee engaged in eternal service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So our permanent happiness is when we serve the Supreme Lord, okay, unconditionally, with unmotivated, uninterrupted service to the Supreme Lord. That is when we'll enjoy, we'll be happy, we'll be in bliss. So when through the process of devotional service, we become free of all material desires and attain pure love of God, we'll be transferred to the Vaikuntha realm where there are no anxieties or suffering. So when we are free of all material desires, when all our material desires are exhausted, no more material desires, then we'll be eligible to attain the Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha, as we all know, it is a place without anxieties. Why Kuntha? Kuntha means anxiety. Why? Without. So a place without anxiety is called Vaikuntha. Then there'll be no suffering, because that's a place where there are no dualities, no dvanda. Here in this material world is full of dualities. Okay, good, bad, right, wrong, success, failure, cold, hot. Everything is duality, dvanda. But there no duality. Only happiness, only bliss. That also ever increasing happiness. At the beginning of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.4, King Parikshit also uses the word Aushadhi, medicine, to refer to the chanting and hearing of Krishna Katha, or words about Krishna. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Such descriptions, of course, include the chanting and hearing of the Lord's holy name. So what is mentioned in 10.1.4? Let's see. Nivritta Tasre Upagamya Upagiyamanad Bhavaushadach Shrotra Mano Abhiramat Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvadat Puman Brajeta Vina Pashugnat. The translation goes like this. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the Parampara system. That is, it is conveyed from spiritual master to disciple. So this knowledge is given to us through the discipline succession Parampara. Okay, Guru Parampara system. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of the cosmic message. Usually, we tend to glorify, the people of this world. When there are experts in different fields. We try to glorify them. Okay. If a person is possessing any material opulence, we try to glorify. What are the 6 prime opulences in this material world? Shadaishwaryam. What are those? Hmm?
Waiting for Tarini Mataji, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, Tarini Mataji. What are the Shadaishwaryam?
I remember Bhagavan's 6 opulence, Prabhuji, but
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, that is what I meant. Yeah.
that one fame, beauty, strength, knowledge, renunciation, and wealth.
Yeah, okay. So if he possess little of any of these opulences, then immediately that person is glorified by us. Right? What we don't have, others have, we try to glorify. For example, beauty. Okay, we try to adore, appreciate, and glorify that person who is more beautiful. Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss India, Mr. World, Mr. Universe. Because they possess what we don't possess. So we try to glorify them. A person is very knowledgeable, we'll glorify them, right? Even little. So any ability, okay, beauty, wealth, if person is wealthy, okay, we adore them, we glorify them. So here it is mentioned that such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of the cosmic will. So these are all temporary. Okay, we glorify a rich person, we glorify a beautiful person or a handsome person, we glorify a very knowledgeable person. Okay, we glorify a very strong person. But these are all material, these are temporary, and it doesn't long last. Instead, use that time and energy to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Our purification starts from there. And slowly and gradually, we will stop the repeated cycle of birth and death. So, which is better? Glorifying a mundane personality or glorifying the Supreme Lord? If you glorify the mundane personality, even if you get some benefit, it will be temporary. Along with his body, it goes. You're not going to get anything. But at the same time, even if it imperfectly glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because we cannot sufficiently or adequately glorify the Supreme Lord because we don't have the qualification to glorify him. Even if it is not proper, but still better do that. Just like the children, when they're very small, 1 year, 2 year, they speak broken words. The parents are so happy. Oh, my son or my daughter said, Papa, Mama, he uttered this word, so happy. Similarly, even if our composition, our glorification is not up to the mark, it is faulty, the Supreme Lord will be very happy, just like how the parents are happy when their children are, speaking broken words. Oh, no, this is not proper. His glorification is not proper. The grammar is not okay. The accent is not okay. He will not complain like that, will he? He knows our position. We're all Kali Yuga rejects. So he knows our position. So he'll accept the way we are. Okay. In this material world, people may not accept us the way we are, but the Supreme Lord will accept us. So descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? So, who is not willing to listen to the glorification? He'll be a butcher. It is as good as committing suicide. A person who is not interested in listening the leelas of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is equal to a butcher. He is killing himself. He is doing Atmahatya. So that's what here says, who is killing his own self. Okay. Where we, yes, here, 10.3. Okay. As with any bona fide medicine, one should take the nectarian portion of the holy name under the guidance of experts, in this case, sages and the spiritual master. And just like when we are sick, we don't prescribe the medicine by ourselves. We go to a clinic, expert physician, consult, he will check us, give all the necessary testing, he will do, then he will prescribe the medicine accordingly, as per the prescription of the physician. We are supposed to take the medicine. Similarly, whimsically, we should not take any medicine. Whimsically, we should take the medicine as per the guidance of the spiritual master and expert guidance of devotees. If you fall sick, we go to this thing, what you call medical shop, you give me any medicine, I will eat? No. We first go to the doctor, consult, the doctor will test us, then he will prescribe. Similarly, here also, we should not treat ourselves whimsically, because according to time, place, and circumstances, desha, kala, patra, different processes are there, different treatments are there. So we have to consult a spiritual master, or in other words, we should take shelter of a spiritual master who will guide us and who will give us or prescribe the right medicine. So that's what Kulashekar Albar. So it shows the importance of accepting a spiritual master. Don't do it whimsically. The Supreme Lord's names vary with his different pastimes and relationships with his pure devotees. So Supreme Lord has millions and billions of names. He is called Govinda, Gopala, Gopichanavallabha, Keshava, Parthasarathi, Nanda Nandana, Yashoda Nandana, Vasudeva Nandana, Devaki Nandana. So many names. So it's all related to the Leelas that he has performed when he was in this material world. So names related to different Leelas, names related to his devotees, these are all called the primary names. So the Supreme Lord likes to be called, addressed with the primary names, not the secondary names. So Mukhya Nama and Gauna Nama, as I've already explained earlier. The primary names are called Mukhya Nama, secondary names are called Gauna Nama. So primary names are related with his devotees and Leelas. Secondary names just like Sarvavyapi, Paramatma, Antaryami, something. It's not related to any pastimes or connected to devotees. So he wants us to address him, Damodara. Okay, he likes that Leela very much, Damodara Leela. So when we address him Damodara, he is so pleased. When when the parents call us by the pet name, we like that so much, than the passport name or a record name, isn't it? Similarly, the Supreme Lord also likes to be called with the name that is connected to his devotees, connected to his Leelas, not the secondary name. Sarvavyapi, Sarvatnya, Paramatma, like that. These are all Gauna Nama, secondary names. So his pure devotees, okay, he appeared as a son of Mother Yashoda and also as a son of Mother Devaki. So when he can be addressed Yashoda Nandana, Devaki Nandana, and therefore is named Devaki Nandana and Yashoda Nandana. One should receive the Lord's authorized names from the spiritual master in discipline session. So we should receive these names in parampara from our spiritual master. The Shastras recommend which names we should chant. So don't chant any mantra, any names. There are certain recommendations given in the Shastra. As far as we are concerned, especially those living in the age of Kali, there is a particular mantra to be chanted for our purification and liberation. So that's already given in the Kali Santarna Upanishad. So it's an Upanishad that will help us to cross over the influence of Kali. Kali Santarna, to cross over. Okay? Upanishad is a scripture. So in this scripture, so this is a conversation between whom? Kali Santarna Upanishad is a conversation between whom? Who is speaking to whom? Yes, Bhakti Shastri students, Bhakti Vaibhav students. Hmm?
No idea, Prabhuji.
Brahma and Narada. Narada is asking, Brahma is telling. Okay, Lord Brahma is telling Narada that in the age of Kali, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Iti Shotasakam Namnam, Kali Kalmashanashanam, Nata Paradaropaya, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyadi. So this 16-worded Mahamantra, this is called Mahamantra. It's not an ordinary mantra. There are so many mantras, Vedic mantras, which should be chanted with proper meter, with proper accent, at proper auspicious time, at pure place and all. There are so many rules and regulations to chant Vedic mantras. But this particular mantra, Hare Krishna mantra, is not governed by any rules and regulation. Anybody, anytime, any place, it can be chanted. So Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shotasakam Namnam. This 16-worded Mahamantra, mantra, Namnam. Okay. Kali Kalmashanashanam. It will destroy all the Kalmashas of Kali Yuga, all the Anarthas of Kali Yuga, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. Everything will be destroyed simply by chanting this holy name. People will be understand how is it possible? Simply by uttering this chant, how my anger will go, my lust will go. People just try, do it for 6 months continuously. You see the improvement. We'll observe ourselves. How we are now. We can introspect ourselves. Okay, before chanting, before joining this association, how we were, what all bad, habits we had. How we have come out of these bad habits. We know, so we can introspect ourselves. So, Kali Kalmashanashanam, all the Kalmashas of Kali Yuga will be destroyed. Nata Paradaropaya Sarva Vedeshu Dishyati. There is no other upaya other than chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is the essence of all the Vedas. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyati. This is the conclusion of all Vedas. What else we need? Okay, so that is what here it says. So we should receive it in the discipline succession. The Shastras recommend which name we should chant. For example, the Kali Santarna Upanishad recommends Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is what I explained. We don't have to search for some name or manufacture one. So it is not necessary for us to manufacture. What qualification do we have? So we have to just follow the instructions given in the Shastra. We have to follow Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. That's what we have to do. We have to, if we want to go from one place to another place, we use GPS, right? Now, we don't have to use GPS. We have to use this GSS, Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, to go to Vaikuntha. Okay, we will reach the right distance. The GPS of this world will, take us to the middle of the road, then he will say, your destination is arrived. It will cheat us sometimes. But the GSS system will never cheat us. So that is, we have to follow the parampara system. Rather, we must follow the saintly persons and the Shastras in chanting the Lord's holy names, as Srila Prabhupada recommends in his Srimad Bhagavatam 8.1.13 purport. What he says, okay, let's see the translation. The entire cosmic manifestation is the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth, who has millions of names and unlimited potencies. He has millions of names and unlimited potencies. He is self-effulgent, unborn, and changeless. He is the beginning of everything, but he has no beginning, as Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govind. Anadir. Anadir means he has no beginning. Adir, but he has says beginning. That what does it mean? He is the original. There is no origin for him. Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. It's the cause of all causes. There is no cause for him. He is the cause of all causes, but there is no cause for him. So he has no beginning because he has created the cosmic manifestation by sex. Even before the material existence, material nature was, he was existing. Isn't it? It's not that, he was not there before this material existence. He was there even before the material existence. So his external energy, the universe appears to be created, maintained, and annihilated by him. So by his external energy, the universe is generated, maintained, and annihilated. Or created, maintained, and annihilated. Nonetheless, he remains inactive in his spiritual energy and is untouched by the activities of material energy. Although he is the creator, he is the maintainer, he is the annihilator, he is untouched by any of his activities. He is not in this. He is in this world, but he is not of this world. Just like the lotus. The lotus is in the field, but is above, is untouched by the field. Similarly, the Supreme Lord creates, maintains, and annihilates, but is aloof, is untouched by that material nature, nor the modes of material nature. That's what Prabhupada, that's what in Srimad Bhagavatam it says. He remains inactive in his spiritual energy and is untouched by the activities of the material energy. He is not touched by the reactions of his activity. Whereas whatever action we do, we are supposed to get the reactions. But he doesn't. He is above any reactions because his activities are on transcendental plane, not on material plane. Our activities are on material planes. So that's why we have to accept the reactions, whatever activity we do, if we are doing it for our sense gratification. If we are doing the activity for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we don't get any reaction. So we should try to engage ourselves, dovetail all our activities to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead rather than trying to please our senses. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchade. With our senses, we should try to satisfy the senses of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the topmost bhakti. So simply by uttering the Supreme Personality, the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially the Hare Krishna Mahamandra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That will facilitate us, help us to purify and thereby going back home, back to Godhead. So Hare Krishna. So this is in brief this particular verse 15 by Kulashekara Alvar. So Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavati ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Go Premanande Hari Go. Hare Krishna. So next is 16. So please make a note of that, Mataji. And we'll stop the recording. Hare Krishna.